Hello friends, hope you are well. Welcome to the Dirt Report, home of tech and telco news from all around Australia. My name is Pat, thanks for jumping in. We have a great show for you today. It's a short intro, so let's get right into it. Today we have quite the NBN Co buffet of juicy news, from scheduling systems overloading to audits for subbies, and breakdown of those bonuses have been revealed. Lastly, we have New South Wales councils without basic cybersecurity, which equals a malware party. So make sure to like this video if you did, and subscribe if you'd like to support us and see more videos like this. Let's roll the intro. NBN Co tends to make the news a lot, and generally speaking it's not positive. So this week was not too bleak, but it has certainly raised a few eyebrows. Over the last few weeks, subcontractors have been busying themselves with industrial action over pay, and specifically the NBN Co Workforce Scheduling system. The system has been the bane of many technicians in the field's existence, blaming the system over arriving late to jobs not ever being scheduled, and so on, and not getting jobs in general to make money. This week, NBN Co revealed the cause of the issue, and honestly it's pretty funny. NBN Co admitted that the system was overloaded. Overloaded by what, you may be wondering? Well, NBN Co said it had onboarded too many users at once, then asked them to record too much data in the field. Technicians were filling out their digital paperwork and giving away too much information about the jobs that they were doing. Those were very thorough technicians, I might say, to be able to get that much information. Does anyone think that sounds ridiculous? Well, let's continue. The application consists of roughly 3 components. The front-end app, which is ServiceMax Go, which has received plenty of criticism for its rather lackluster UI and UX designs, but it was the other 2 components that let them down this time. The back-end connected to ServiceMax Go was a mix of Salesforce CRM and ServiceNow applications. NBN Co Chief Operating Officer Catherine Dyer told the Senate estimates on Thursday that it was capacity and load issues caused by the sheer amount of people using the app during the second phase of the rollout. Here was what Dyer had to say. What changed, or my reflection, is in South Australia and Tasmania a much smaller volume of work came in, and there was a lot more direct hand-holding, if you like, with the technicians in relation to the changeover from one system to the next. We then went to Victoria. We did initially see a usability impact from a technician's point of view, but it very quickly recovered within 1 to 2 weeks. When New South Wales was added, overall it doubled the amount of contractors. We then had issues around functionality where it wasn't syncing properly, so therefore it caused a poor experience for the technicians and subcontractors. Now let's keep this train rolling along and throw in some more NBN coal to the fire. During that same Senate estimates hearing, Chief Operating Officer Catherine Dyer was questioned about the company's Unified Program, which is an umbrella brand for several types of maintenance courses across all access technologies, and how subcontractors are managed and paid. The questioning was brought on by the industrial action led by NBN Co subcontractors over the last few weeks, and it queried NBN Co's report of the upcoming restructure of its field services, which could result in significant pay cuts for field staff. The protesting technicians have said the changes in question could see a 33% cut to the amount they are paid for the works. Dyer was unfortunately unable to confirm that number on her reports, and so has called an independent auditor to run their own report and see if things match up. Here is what Catherine Dyer had to say in that regard. Based on the concerns that we've heard from subcontractors, we have formally written to our delivery partners and we've met with them. We have brought in an independent auditor to look at these 2 models because we don't see it in aggregate. We don't see what you're talking to us about. We are taking this very seriously. Lastly, Dyer said that NBN Co have no visibility of how their delivery partners deal with their subcontractors, and as a form of goodwill, NBN Co will provide an interim top-up of $75 per job while this audit is underway. Let me know below if you think that's actually enough for the issues that they've caused so far. Stephen Rue had also chimed into saying that they have made no changes in the way the telecommunication industry works, and this restructure does not change what has been set in stone for as long as NBN Co has been around. That also doesn't mean that what has been going on for the last 10 years is the right thing. Choo choo, next stop, NBN Co's bonus payouts. The Sydney Morning Herald managed to get their grubby paws on some juicy numbers, and we finally have a clear view of the $78 million of bonus paid out to NBN Co employers. As we dwell into these numbers, I would like to remind you all of Christine Holgate, who quit as Chief Executive of Australia Post in November 2020 after it was revealed she purchased luxury watches worth a total of 20,000 Australian dollars for 4 employees as a reward for securing a banking deal in 2018. Now, for those following at home, this accounts to about $5,000 bonus in the form of a watch per person involved. As a side, a Senate committee has called on the Australian Post chair to resign and demand that Scott Morrison apologises over the treatment of the former managing director, Christine Holgate. Why would that be? Let's look at the dollar figures for NBN Co. First of all, $78 million was sitting in the pot, and despite the worst economic downturn since the Great Depression, the pot of gold was divided amongst 3,800 NBN Co staff in the form of cold hard cash. No watches this time. Top honcho Stephen Rue received $1.2 million. The rest of the employees were rewarded based on their salary bands. So, 2,865 employees who earned between $100,000 to $200,000 received on average $13,000, or about 2.5 Cartier watches. Then there was 775 employees who clocked over $200K in salary, receiving around $50,000 each, or 10 Cartier watches each, and another group of 635 employees whose income was between $200,000 and $300,000 averaged in a $35K bonus, which is about 7 Cartier watches. Finally, those employees who earned less than $100K per year received an average of $7,500 in bonus cash, or roughly 1.5 Cartier watches. Now, onto the real money makers, the executives. Those who earn $400,000 to $600,000 a year received an average of $164K in bonuses, around 33 Cartier watches. Lastly, the 8 executives who hit above $600K annually received 88 Cartier watches each, or around $440,000 in bonus payments. I guess you can imagine why the technicians are unhappy. Federal Communications Minister Paul Fletcher and NBN Co defended the bonus payouts. They said the company hit above its targets and followed market practice. But let me know your thoughts below. Let's move on. We know that many low-level government entities don't get the best funding, and for entities like city councils, they tend to raise rates just to keep the lights on, I think. In any case, according to the Auditor General's report on local government 2020 published on May 27, 2021, 58 councils have yet to implement basic governance and internal controls to manage cybersecurity. This could literally mean some councils did not even have Windows Defender turned on. The report is over 80 pages and contains an outline of each council's issues around IT, or at least the biggest faults. I have of course linked it below. Let me share some highlights with you. The Mayland City Council has no formal IT policies and procedures in place over multiple areas such as access management, incident management, and cybersecurity. No cybersecurity awareness program, which would include periodic training of users on said cybersecurity. IT risks register shows uncompleted and past due actions for certain risk items. No documented SLAs between IT and the business. Woollahra Municipal Council this year again had not reviewed their privileged user accounts activity logs. Central Coast Council this year reported 2 high-risk findings. 1 privileged user access review was not performed for one of the key financial systems, and 2 privileged user accounts activity logs were not reviewed either, which seems to be a bit of a pattern across the councils. So overall, 43 councils did not perform a periodic user access review to ensure users' access to key IT systems are appropriate and commensurated with their roles and responsibilities. 68 councils did not monitor privileged accounts activity logs. So clearly, where robust access management processes are not in place, inappropriate access may exist, increasing the risk of unauthorized transactions or modifications of sensitive data and transactions. And that's just New South Wales. The common findings above were rated high risk, so while I joke about the Windows Defender part, the report clearly shows the lack of IT control and auditing, meaning you could get away with a lot even without any technical knowledge or how to do that. It's like taking candy from literally a baby. This also speaks to a lot why we see so many ransomware attacks across government entities. People are not educated in the risks, but also how to identify them. They just don't know. The government has extended the remit of Cybersecurity New South Wales to include councils and smaller agencies thanks to a $60 million investment in the Central Cyber Office last year. So let's hope it helps in the next few years. And on that doomsday prediction of tech, it's time to end this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode and learned some new Cartier watch based math. Make sure you like this video if you did and subscribe to support us and see more videos like this and other tech reviews. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you all in another one. Bye!